Ano, naglalag pa ba din, guys?
Well, okay naman sa akin.
Oo nga.
Baka sa
Parang,
kanila. Mm.
okay. So, should we start or hintayin muna natin some other people to come?
Yeah, pumapasok pa lang sila eh. Mm.
Sis July, thank you. Thank you for letting us know. Okay naman daw.
Okay naman na. Mm. Ayan, kagigising ko lang, sorry.
No, no, it's okay. It's actually really crazy kasi, di ba, like, we talked about this interview
Mm-mm.
last week pa. And then all of a sudden, when there's like 10 minutes left before it's 6 o'clock my time, bigla akong kinabahan.
ako ano naman, kanina nag-live ako para, to invite our friends. Tapos yun, bali nakatulog ako, tapos buti na lang, sabi ko, para pagising ko, mag-makeup na lang ako, konti. Mm-mm. Yung buhok ko, hindi ko alam kung anong gagawin ko, tatali ko, hinahanap ko yung ipit ko, hindi ko makita.
Oh, okay lang yan, oy. Sige na lang.
Anyway, sa bahay lang naman ako.
All right. Hi, my name is Jenny. This is my voice, Clean Catch Voice. And today it is such an honor that she is devoting an hour of her time to be with me on Clean Catch Voice. Mommy K, kindly introduce yourself to us. As if naman hindi ka kilala ng mga tao, di ba? But,
Uy, hindi naman,
okay, go ahead.
well, everybody knows me as Mami K, and I think I joined TikTok here sometime in late of 2020. But actually, the first time I really used it, it was Christmas.
Oh, wow.
And that I started, with the LGBT group as their nanay-nanayan dito sa TikTok.
Yeah. We will like further get to know more about you, but I want to do like a backstory of why Mommy K is here. One time kasi we did have an interaction on my live. This was like back last year pa. And then when I interviewed Mommy K, Mommy Josie and Mommy Sean, chinika. Chinika ni Mommy Sean ang advokasya ni Mommy K. And then you were there engaging on the comment section. And then it's Pride Month. So I figured, who's the better person to highlight the LGBTQ community other than me? Kasi kilala ka naman talaga ng mga tao sa Filipino community. But I think we're gonna start with getting to know you muna. Who is Mommy K? And gusto ko kasing i-highlight yung advokasya mo na tumulong sa tao. Like, meron ka bang biggest influence why you started doing that thing? Or more on that's really your thing na ginawa without being influenced by other people?
Well, I guess even before TikTok, I think my heart really says that I belong to, give service to people. Like it speaks volume of my profession.
Yeah.
I'm a registered nurse, we care for people. So I guess, I just realized, when I was given that opportunity and resources to make a difference to people's lives. So I think I focused myself on that. I centered basically, putting others first before myself. So that's basically who I am.
You're kind of like leading to that. Kasi di ba, like there are 5 love languages. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is, in my opinion kasi, and you guys can disagree with this, I feel like kung ano kasi yung love language ng tao, it defines that person, kung sino talaga siya. Like, with me kasi is like spending quality time. Quality time. So, matatansya mo kasi kung ano yung kiliti ng tao and how to get to that person's nerve or to mess with that person based on that love language. Like now, diba? Like my love language is quality time. So you're here spending your 1 hour of your time, your special time to be with me. So I'm looking at it as yung parang part na din, like in a sense parang utang na loob ka na thing because I do appreciate people's time. Now with you, ano yung love language mo and why do you feel like that defines you as a person?
Well, I guess giving, service. Like, I like to make somebody feel special or cared by showing, like, as simple as cooking for somebody or giving certain gifts, like small, it's not necessary na expensive, but yung may meaning,
Yeah.
like your service to people, something like that.
I did ask this same question kay Mami Sean at saka kay Mami Josie nung in-interview ko sila na I asked them, and I'm gonna ask you the same thing. Guesstimate mo, na, nabibilang mo ba kung gaano karami? Not that you're counting. Nabibilang mo ba kung gaano nakarami ang na-reach out mo, natulungan mo, whether it be small or big?
I guess I wouldn't say a lot, per se, but I guess I touches a lot of people's life that not people know here in TikTok because I do a lot of my, especially charity off TikTok. So I started before I started TikTok, I get to involve in voluntary work like HIV volunteer because I'm a nurse. I'd like and those community service like giving education to these LGBT kids about sexually transmitted disease, how to prevent themselves acquiring those, so educating them by that. And because during that time I hardly have money, so like I just basically alam mo naman ang sitwasyon natin sa Pilipinas. So and then here in the US I get involved with a lot of like giving injections, vaccinations. I volunteer myself. Actually, before when COVID strikes, so I was part of our committee where we developed this certain strategy how to protect our employees. So I volunteered myself. I didn't expect that they're gonna pay me, but in the end, like the company approved our budget, and finally, all those hours that I spent there, they paid me. But I give it back to the people in the Philippines. So nagkaroon kami ng a lot of charity works, like bibigay kami ng mga pagkain, mga groceries, mga ganun. So, minsan may nagme-message sa akin, hindi ko kilala, na nagpapasalamat. Sabi ko, how did you know me? Not here in TikTok, ha?
Yeah.
Like, ganito, mga So, of course, naitulong mo na yun eh. Hindi mo na iniisip.
Yeah.
You never have.
It's actually really amazing kasi magpa-follow up sana ako. But then, in a sense, sinagot mo na. Kasi I was gonna ask you, like, of all the things that you have done for people, not exactly you're like writing them down somewhere para you feel good about yourself. Like, I was gonna ask kung meron kang memorable situation na naaalala mo and then these people are like reaching out to you, nagpapasalamat and everything, but then you already answered it.
Yeah, like kahit naman hindi ko sila kilala, like minsan sila mismo lumalapit, kung meron, tumutulong, kung wala naman masyadong budget, medyo naman. So,
yeah, you do what you do
Mm-hmm.
at a given situation, kung ano ang makakaya mo talaga. Okay, you mentioned something about yung sa pandemic. We all know that it was like a very scary time. I mean, even now, di ba, it's still here. Pero nung time na yun na because of your field of work, I wouldn't exactly say because of how you were describing it na parang passion mo na kasi talaga ang
Mm-hmm.
ang career mo ngayon. Did it scare you though na because of your passion na makatulong in your own way during pandemic na you would put yourself at risk? And what kept you from doing what you love doing even though sa pandemic?
Well, actually, bali siguro I was so used to it before pandemic, like I was exposed with a lot of like scenarios where in emergency room, ICU, kind of like pinalakas na yung loob mo. And especially when you see a lot of people dying, like talagang grabe na yung epekto. So, the only thing that you can think of is like, how can I be of, help?
Yeah, that's when your act of service comes in.
Like, paano namin, kasi lahat walang alam, basically. So, we base our practice based on scientific evidence, so evidence-based practice kami talaga. So I know, something na I can be a great contributor. So I volunteered myself even to a point I will expose myself to certain, danger, like the health danger. So it's very risky, but then siguro yung pagka naandun ka na hindi mo naisipin sarili mo, like a lot of people, like especially nakikita mo naghihirap.
Yeah.
And of course, we have to protect din ang ating mga frontliners, mga nurses, because they don't know exactly too. Although we know universal, precautions, so and mga safety measures, but establishing process which I know myself I'm good at workflow. So in a way that people would know when they identify symptoms like that, then what's the next step, and am I gonna work or not, who I'm gonna talk to. So we establish those policy and procedures and guidelines in order for, kasi chaotic na and then wala pang process in place, mas lalong kakabahan ng mga tao. So if they feel like, oh, there's a certain standard and procedures we have to follow and there's some support from the core group, so and also from our health, employee health, so they feel more empowered and like, oh, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So exactly, we're just like, okay, we go with the flow, we're just gonna address what is important and make sure everybody is safe, so something like that.
I find it really amazing kasi like of all the guests that I've had here on Clean Catch Voice, the last interview that I did was with this Caucasian guy, Dave B. Parang napasarap yung usapan kasi nga yung concept ng Clean Catch Voice is like free-flowing, whatever my guests give me, I will go with that. So lumagpas kami ng 1 hour and he jokingly said na, I guess you could still consider this an interview kasi you're the one asking questions, but this is kind of like a podcast. And yung sa pandemic, like that's not like one of the things that I was gonna talk about here, but since you mentioned it, gusto ko na lang din i-take ang opportunity na to na thank you sa mga frontliners, sa mga staff sa medical field. Mami Kay, you guys are doing such a great job with what you do for us sa community natin, sa buong mundo actually. So anyways, I don't want to stay there too long kasi we still have to talk about the whole LGBTQ. Kasi me myself, I'm really interested, and please, if I do make a mistake or something, like I'm open to like be corrected because I'm really, really interested, and I'm sure a lot of people are really interested to know more about the LGBTQ. But let's go back to Mami Kay muna. Like, why are you the way you are? Na you are really all about helping people. Is it something na you acquired from your parents or from your family? I can only imagine that some of your family members are there in the Philippines. Bakit? Like, ano yung, um, ay, yung Bisaya. Nahihirapan ako magtagalog.
Sige lang.
Ang nganong ingana ka karon na natun-an ba na nimo siya sa imuhang relatives, sa imong parents, or unsa man gyud ang hinungdan?
Well, basically, hindi naman siguro natutunan. So, na-experience ko rin kasi kung paano ang maghirap.
Oh yes, I love that.
And especially being a member of LGBT, how are, we been subjected to a lot of like discrimination and bullying.
Yes. Oo.
And nakita ko pagka ikaw ganun, member ng LGBT during my time, yung when I was still like growing up, lalo na pagka wala ka,
Yeah.
mamata-matahin ka.
Yeah.
So,
Unfortunate.
unfortunately, ikaw yung pagtatawanan lagi. So, ang ginawa ko is basically, paano ako makakatulong sa mga kasamahan ko? Sa murang edad ko, hindi ko naman naisip kagad yun. Pero, I focus on like, making myself a better, to better me na para sa ganun in the end siguro, yun nga ang purpose ko, yung at least makatulong man lang ako sa mga kapwa ko di LGBT in my own little way.
Yes.
So, yun yung mga experiences, mga nakikita ko na it was disappointing and demotivating in a way kasi nga wala silang way of protecting themselves or making them a better person. So, may mga ganun talaga eh. So, yun.
Ika nga kasi, life is your greatest teacher, di ba?
Mm-mm.
But now that you did mention discrimination and bullying, parang padulong na pa dito sa LGBTQ. Were you ever put in a situation that you felt that you were discriminated and bullied?
Yeah,
But
many times.
in what sense, and how did you deal with it?
Well, during my younger days, medyo pa ako, syempre hindi ka pa matured, hurt ka, tinatago mo na lang, pero there's a point wherein na lumalabang ka, like kikipag-away ka na rin kasi nasagot mo na. Pero not physical, kumbaga. Lang, syempre, girly-girly ako noon eh, takot ako sa mga babae. Natutokso-tukso ka lang. Pero yung in reality na yung nakapagtapos ka na ng pag-aaral at nakapagtrabaho ka na, even at workplace, may discrimination pa rin. Mapipil mo, like, swerte mo na lang kung matatanggap ka, kung isa kang trans.
Yeah.
Because way back then, it's really hard. Like,
Yeah. It's a lot different these days for sure. Kasi mas open kasi tayo ngayon. Like, I mean, even, it's really unfortunate because even in the Philippines, meron pa rin, napipil mo pa din talaga ang discrimination.
Yeah, actually, just happened, like, nag-live ako na kwento yun dun na parang may isang incident, isang lalaki daw ng bastos ng isang trans kasi parang sinaway lang na ganun, parang sa small little things tapos they start calling them names, mga dead naming, mga ganun, or so mga derogatory, mga pagpapaano sa kanila, mga tawag. So, still some people like, I would say homophobic or transphobic, and we cannot avoid that.
Based on what you went through, the discrimination and the bullying, with with all those things that you went through, ano yung masasuggest or ma-advise mo sa mga uh, sa LGBTQ community? Like how would you properly address that kind of situation if they're like put in that position na parang it's so obvious na talaga that they are being discriminated and bullied?
Well, of course, like you're gonna gain respect from people if you yourself respect, like you practice itself the word respect, observe respect.
Yeah,
How can you expect others to respect you if you're not
capable of giving that respect.
giving respect or respecting yourself? So self-respect, that's the start. Like I'm not saying that LGBT members they're the one initiating this thing being disrespected, So I think it applies to all. That's all I can say na para hindi ka mag-discriminate kasi this is so sad. Like among members of LGBT, the most highly critical are itself the members to each other. So they among themselves like kind of like, mas maganda ako sa iyo. Gano'n, naglaro na naman to ng ganda-gandahan. Alam mo yung mga na-attitude, yung mga ganun. So, because they're queer, meaning to say they're really, some of them, they are proud who they are. But sometimes you have to observe, like, those behavior or those what we're showing to others not really offending them. So, that's the start.
Yeah,
Because,
as crazy as it may sound, 'di ba yung sa within your family nga merong mga ganong conflict. So, I don't know. I mean, we are all working together as a community one day at a time. But sa ngayon kasi, like, with the way as it is, when it comes to the LGBTQ community, if there's something na you can change, so the discrimination and the bullying can be possibly avoided or para mabigyan ng appropriate respect ang community na to. Coming from you, Mami Kay, what would you add to that para that community and we can all like share this world na harmonious yung relationship natin sa isa't isa.
yeah, it all boils down again to the word respect.
Yes.
So you cannot, achieve this, harmony or everybody would be in the same boat, in the same understanding. But it's kind of hard though to achieve that. That's kind of unrealistic for everybody to agree in what we do or what we want. All we want is just, a representation, like being accepted by the community, like equally. Like, but there's still a lot of bigger issues that they tackle on that one because they felt like it is offensive to the other group, but then we are all one here. So, and it is just a concept. The LGBT is just a concept. It's a cultural concept of gay, lesbian, transgender people, bisexual, pansexual, and whatever label. And sometimes it's so confusing. And how can we educate people when we start, like identifying this group of and type of specific, So there's a lot of thing to learn about LGBT, but it's just a concept of wanting to be a solid group, like a solid community, and resistance to this discrimination and violence. So, yeah, I don't know what I can contribute, but I guess be the role model. Sometimes I know I'm not perfect, but giving them like the opportunity for them to understand that we're also human
Yeah.
and as well educate our new generations that, you know, like there's more to it.
Yeah.
Is not just being part of or a member of LGBT, you know.
You talked about acceptance, like coming from you, Mommy K. Like how would people make you feel accepted being part of the LGBTQ?
Well, first, I don't like kind of like right then and there tell them like I'm a trans, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
I behave such a manner like everybody else. Like, you know, I don't differentiate me or making me a trans. I should be treated, you know, like with special care. No, treat me as the same as everybody. Like
Yeah,
that.
and
Mhm. And accepting like should start from you. Like me, when I started accepting myself, because you know it kind of give me like difficulty before when I was still not out. I'm not happy, you know, and I guess I kind of isolate myself from people because
oh,
I'm so afraid that they will judge me. But that
mm,
fear, when I conquer it and make a goal to overcome that fear and being you, like I remember somebody told me, just be you. Try to be you, who you are. Embrace it. And whatever comes next, don't worry about it. So, yun, nagpakatotoo lang ako.
okay.
Like,
You talked about like conquering that fear, being
mhm.
you. Naalala mo pa ba what age ka nun?
Well, actually, when I was like maybe 6, I know I'm different. Kasi grade 1 ako, sumasayaw na ako eh. So, but then wala, I have no clear understanding na trans ako. But then, I could tell I'm not, you know, I'm not, I wouldn't say na I'm different. I'm just,
Yeah.
so, kasi syempre, napaka-feminine ko. Ang hinihin ko, maliit pa ako, naglalaro ako ng Chinese garter, mga ganun.
Oh my God, Chinese garter. I don't know.
So, na-enjoy ko naman, pero yun lang, kasi military ang father ko.
Oh my God.
Na, so,
Hi, Ted.
natatandaan ko pa rin, yun nga may pagka-military ang tatay ko, syempre, disiplinado. So, hindi ka pwedeng ganun. So, and I was so afraid na, actually, honestly, I
Mm-hmm.
never told my dad. I never had a chance.
Oh.
But I think, kasi narinig ko na rin sa kanya eh. Sabi niya sa mother ko, ne ang tawag niya sa mother ko eh.
Mm-hmm.
Ne, sabi niya, I think yung bunso mo, bading, sabi niya gano'n.
Mm-hmm.
So, hindi ko na yun, sabi ko, alam niya naman na pala. So, hindi ko na sasabihin. Pero yung heart-to-heart talk na nag-open. Ako, I get the chance na may trabaho na ako noon, nakatapos na ako. Doon pala sinabi sa kanya na, Nay, ganito ako. Sabi niya, alam ko naman, nung pinanganak kita, alam ko na. Sabi niya, kasi pala Berudi yung mother ko. So, in a way na hindi naman ako, I never experienced that tawagin ako in public, pinahiya ako ng parents ko. No?
Yeah.
Not even my brother and my sister. That is why sometimes it hurts like, you know, na makita mo yung mga iba na ginagamit yung pagiging bading mo or trans na pang-bully sa'yo.
So okay, I'm not even because you kind of answered it. Yung when you said na sinabi mo sa mom mo at first when you finally have the courage. So I can only guess na yung biggest supporter mo when you finally came out was your mom.
Lalo na yung sister ko.
Oh.
Kasi like, I remember siguro mga 8 years old ata ako because high school na siya nun eh. Like second year. Siyempre, pupulbos-pulbos, tapos naka-curler na roller, ay curler ba yun? Roller ba yun? No?
What do you call that?
Is yung pampakulot.
Oh,
Kasi
merong tawag nun. Basta.
maganda buhok nun eh. So, yun, ako, tapos siya yung kumukuha ng t-shirt ng father ko, yung puti na Hanes na malaki, large. Nusot ko yung ginagawa kong duster, tapos kina-curlers ko rin yung buhok ko. Naayusan niya rin naman ako.
Na-experience mo ba din yung yung parang stem ng cassava? Yung,
Yeah,
yung pangkulot.
Hindi kasi medyo sabi nga ng sister ko, hindi na makakapit yan eh kasi ang iksi-iksi ng buhok mo. Pinakalbo kami, di ba, ng yung ganun, yung gupit ng, yung tawag doon. Basta may tawag doon eh. Yung sa barbero. So,
yung blue na, ano ang tawag doon? Basta merong tawag doon.
Oo. So, yun, yeah. Yung sister ko na nag-TikTok din dahil sa akin. So, yun ang pinaka, mahal na mahal ko yun sa buhay ko. You know. Yeah. So,
Grabe, parang, base, kasi yung mga questions ko kasi, like, I base it off of what my guest is saying. Tapos parang sunod-sunod na yung question ko. But parang gusto ko kasi talagang i-focus ang pag-highlight ng LGBTQ. Now, please educate us, Mami Kate, to the best of your knowledge. Pwede mo ba siyang ma-dissect yung letters ng LGBTQ and tell us more about it?
well, like, it started this pride celebration, This is it's a integral cultural concept within, like a gay, lesbian, L is for lesbian, G is for gay, and B is bisexual, T is transgender, and then the queer, the Q, LGBTQ. So, and there's intersex, the I. And then there's an A, they said IA, those are the one that kind of like support to the members of this LGBT. So, this group started to like group themselves, I think way back in 16 years ago, way back in the 1970s, where the first Pride Month, they celebrate this. Like for people to have that solidarity, and this is the fight against discrimination and violence among the members of LGBTQ, resisting that discrimination. That's why this group was formed. So it's they just want representation. They just want to voice out their, and practice their freedom, their rights. So that's all it started. But I'm not really an expert on that, the history of LGBT. I have little knowledge about it. So yeah, that's all started, the group, it was conceptualized based that purpose. So basically, just to achieve, equality and justice, equal justice. So
Miss Glam has a question here. Sabi niya, hi Miss K, being an advocate of LGBTQ+, what is your advice to some members who goes beyond such a behavior?
Yeah, because we must admit, we have especially the youth, the new generation, and we all know that most of them, they're very opinionated, and they think
they know it all.
They know it all, and they can do whatever they want. And some they didn't know that they're crossing the line already. So All I can tell them is for them, if they're members of LGBT and if they want to be respected, like they should start educating themselves. Yes, not because you are an LGBT, you would already have a free pass and you could do whatever you want. No. So basically, like, start respecting yourself, like, have that self respect and get educated. I know a lot of like LGBT members, I'm not saying rebellious, maybe there's some of them they're undergoing this phenomenon, depression, self identity crisis. So all I can say is there are a lot of support group that you can approach. And if you think, for the sake of your mental health, and just reach out, and there's a lot of like support services or community that they can help them, because we must admit that the highest number of committing suicide among members of LGBT are the young ones, because they don't have that access. They fear. So start educating yourself that there's a lot of like hotlines or community reach out groups that they can help you.
Yeah.
Because I myself, I was so afraid before, that I will be judged if kung mag-open ako sa public, I don't know what to do. So, wala akong inanuhan and I ended up in hospital.
Oh.
Yeah, so, yeah. And it's true. Huwag kayo matatakot. I mean, may mga grupo tayo na they're expert on that, helping this you especially.
You talked about identity crisis. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yung identity crisis ba is somewhat like what you went through when you did mention earlier na alam mo na, like when you were really young at the age of 6, but then you finally came out when you were like adult ka na. Yan ba yung identity crisis?
Actually, identifying kung ano ako during that time is not an issue. It's more of accepting it, embracing it. Parang doon nagkakaroon ng crisis. Like, parang, bakit ako? Parang sinisisi ko. So, hindi ko naman to ginusto, pero hindi mo naman mapigilan, pinanganak kang ganyan, di ba?
So correct me if I'm wrong. So yung identity crisis is more like you kind of like know for sure, but you're like holding back because you have that fear of not being accepted.
A fear of unknown, fear of rejections. There's a lot. Like, syempre, di mo alam kung ganito ka ba o ano, or kung alam mo na, bakit? Marami kang, kumbaga, like ako, when I was growing up, like, it's so traumatic, and nakikita ko how we, like, other members of LGBT na, how they were treated, di ba? So, yun, ganun, natatakot ka, nagkakaroon na ng takot, kumbaga.
Yeah, kasi like, especially, okay, like, we will go back to the Philippines, especially in the Philippines. I mean, I grew up in the Philippines, and me as a little kid, like, I've witnessed some situations na merong nabubugbog, ganyan. Diba? Like, it's so sad when that kind of situation happens. Kasi, yun na nga, like, I think that's when the identity crisis really takes like hardcore talaga yung pag-play sa isang tao. Kasi, nakikita mo na, di ba? Like, oh my gosh, like, is this what's gonna happen to me? Ma-accept ba ako ng community ko?
Well, actually, normal na yun eh. Sa growth and development ng tao. And stages of development na you will pass that stage. Nagkakaroon lang ng issue when, like me, I was diagnosed, before I transition, I underwent, psychological evaluation. So I was diagnosed with gender dysphoria. So that is something na mahirap intindihin ng mga tao na
You mentioned that because, like I said, diba, like I'm one of those many people na I'm really interested to be educated with this. You mentioned gender dysphoria. To the best of your knowledge, ano yan siya?
well, it's basically, like I identify myself as a woman. And for some reason, they have this, clinical process for them to diagnose that ganun ka. Like, you think as a woman and you basically everything you do is a reflection of a woman. So
Okay.
even it doesn't mean physically, like mentally, emotionally, lahat-lahat yan. You think, you do, whatever. Like, meron silang proseso na para maintindihan ng mga tao na hindi basta-basta ganun na nagising na ako, gusto ko na maging babae. Hindi po ganun, you know. So, may mga history yan. May pinagdadaanan kami na we hate looking at yung sarili namin na may makikita kaming pagka-masculine na na-identify sa male. So, that's basically it. Like, we were born male pero hindi namin gusto yun. And to a form na nagkakaroon na kami ng mga physical symptoms, psychological symptoms, like depression. Nadi-depressed na kami. Tapos, ina-isolate na namin sarili namin. So, inibreed Bible.
No, go ahead with what you're saying.
Okay. Na-distract naman ako. Oo. So, yeah. So, hindi po nakukuha po yan sa dasal. At hindi po rin yan sakit. Kumbaga, it's not a mental health diagnosis or disease.
Or like a contagious kind of thing na nakakadiri or because it's unfortunate you hear that type of statements from other people. Hindi they need to be educated. I mean, me myself, diba? Like I'm trying my best. I'm doing my best to learn more about these kind of things. Kasi iisang mundo lang naman ang tinitirahan natin. Uy. Okay, we did talk about respect, diba? Like parang ano na kasi siya. Para siyang ultimate rule in life na if we want to live harmoniously sa isang mundo, like we all have to give that respect in order for us to be respected. Pero sa tingin mo, Mami Kay, ano yung pinaka-big na hurdle? Ano yung pinaka-big na naka-block sa daan? Bakit the LGBT community are having a hard time like getting their message across? Because you did even read that comment right there na para bang, diba? That kind of, it's kind of like a form of discrimination right there.
Well, basically, a lot of people I'm not, in a general statement to be politically correct, like some, not a lot, okay, some, they still need to be educated. And everybody have that the same level of thinking.
Yeah.
So, ignorance of the fact doesn't excuse anybody. At saka, may mga paniniwala, like, the way they were brought up, some people, like, they're not exposed to this group of people, that they do also exist, that they're also human beings. So, ang kanila nakikita lang yung ganito, but then, sa community nila, kukunti ang mga tao, wala silang access to education. Tapos, and it has something to do din sa religion kasi, syempre, kanya-kanyang interpretation. Like, So, parang politiko at politics and religion. You cannot, mix them. Mm.
Okay. So, through you, Mommy K, to the best of your knowledge, ano yung masasabi mo na you can say na biggest na nagawa or contribution ng LGBTQ community sa mundo? To the best of your knowledge, kasi obviously, di ba, ang napaka-vast. Like, say, for example, I can't think of any organization kasi nga, like I said, I'm still learning more about these things. I'm sure you've heard of communities that have something to do with like an LGBTQ organization.
I would say, like, I'm not really sure about in the Philippines kasi, most my professional life na ano ko rito sa US. There are a lot different from state to state, so the biggest contribution is like providing support system to all members, not only members of LGBT, but, across body lahat yan, across the board na yan, na they're pioneering a lot of things like, creativity and excellence and integrity. I think that's the basic, the biggest contribution among members of LGBT. Like, if this group of people support, mga karamihan, hindi lang naman inaano nila because we're LGBT lang ang tutulungan. I think that's the biggest contribution ng grupo na to because they're so creative and they're highly intelligent people, and they're compassionate. So, yeah. So, not exactly like, like, I guess the sense of belongingness, like, a lot of people, like, ngayon, ang dami na nating problema. Tapos, they create something na makakatulong in a way, like, as a support group, as a mentor or something like that. And in the world of fashion, nag-excel dyan ang mga LGBTQ.
Very, very talented.
Yeah. And then, art. Name it. So, yeah.
I would like to add na lang din kasi sa Philippines, I have many friends na part ng LGBTQ and I don't know if it's just them as a person, but they're like when they feel like I'm being attacked, when push comes to shove, bahala kayo dyan, paglalaban ko tong kaibigan ko. Ganon. And because of that experience that I had, yun yung nakatatak sa isip ko na siguro yan yung, it's either ganon na talaga ang personality nila as a person or because part sila ng LGBTQ. I mean, what's your opinion about that? Ganon ba talaga?
Well, basically, alam mo naman yung mga karamihan sa mga gusto nila friends, mga kababaihan gusto nila friends, yung mga bading, kasi masaya kasama. So I think that's part of it, and yun nga kung may mga api sa iyo or mag-aano sa iyo, may kakampi ka, like to the rescue talaga yung mga yan. O barda kumbaga mga ganyan.
Na-remember ka talaga, sabi niya sa akin, zaman, mga oras na ko,
Well, I kind of like, I have a friend here sa Dallas. Ano siya, trans. So, yung guy, I think, yung guy na yan, kasi nasa parang kami, yung lahat pwede doon. Straight, lahat pwede. So, I think yung guy trying to lumalapit sa akin. Tapos may gay na type siya, ganun. Tapos, syempre, yung trans na kaibigan ko, she's also, her name is Hispanic yun. So, we decided na tara kain na lang tayo. Nagugutom na ka. Yun. Makain kami. Sumunod yung guy. Sumunod din yung gay friend niya. And then na-realize ko, ako, I was oblivious to it, you know? Like ako doon, sumama lang ako sa friend ko na trans. So yun nga, parang the way yung gay guy, yung pala nagsiselos na siya.
Ooh.
Kasi nga yung guy, yung attention sa
Pero
akin.
ikaw, oblivious ka what was happening.
Yeah, I don't really care. I was just there like para makiano sa mga sister ko, di ba, makipag-bonding. So, ayun to si Maria, nagalit. Sabi niya, hey, you don't talk to my sister like that. Kasi nga parang may pagka-rude, taka na lang ako na ako pala yung inaano nito, ganun. Yung pala nagsiselos. Sabi niya, and then, inano niya yung hair niya, ginanon niya. Tapos kumuha siya na, and then hold this, sabi niya, let's go outside. Makikipagbugbugam para sa akin. Uy, sabi ko, tumigil ka dyan. Oo. Ganon. Kumbaga yung sisterhood, mapipulo. Yeah.
It's really like it's really amazing, like diba, like we get to know a lot of people, and then depending kung sino talaga yung nag-pick sa'yo, it really comes down to, yun nga, like it really comes down to respect with everything in life. But I want to talk about you as a sibling. Ano kang klaseng sibling?
Well, I'm the youngest. I wouldn't say ako yung spoiled, but when I was growing up, yeah, I feel the love din ng mga kapatid ko.
Yeah.
But then when, nagkaroon ako ng opportunity na makapagtrabaho dito sa US, so binigyan ko naman sila ng tamang pagmamahal. I mean, sinuklian ko lahat yun. And mahal na mahal ako ng mga kapatid ko. Like, even, kahit umuwi ako ng Pilipinas, yan, hindi porkit nagaling ako sa Amerika. No, they don't treat me such na, even, nafe-feel mo talaga talagang mapagmahal ako sa mga kapatid ko. Yun ako. Kasi bunso ako, tapos, like, tapos yung mga kuya ko, pero medyo naiilang ako kasi nga, diba, like, when I was growing up and before ako pumunta dito sa US, lalaki ako. Tignan nila, diba? Yung pagbalik ko, yung parang yun, dito, pero hindi nila pinapil sa akin na iba or ano. So, yeah, like, imagine I'm already 55 years old, right? And my brother ko, 57, 59, 61, 63, 65, napaka-sweet pa rin nila ako. Parang baby pa rin yung treatment nila sa akin.
I guess it's one of those things that you can consider na blessed. One of those things na makonsider mo na blessed ka.
It's really important, I think. Kaya may mga miyembro tayo ng mga LGBT members kasi wala silang ganung
Yeah, yung family support.
Yung support sa family. Kaya bara-bara na lang. Marami ako ng mga anak-anakan. That is why I think na yun na rin na kung bakit nagkaroon ako ng mga anak-anakan sa LGBT, nanay-nanay nila ako. Kasi nakikita ko may kakulangan. Yung guidance. And I'm so proud. Yung mga anak-anakan ko nakatapos na ng pag-aaral, umayos yung mga buhay nila kahit papaano. I started that way back in early 1990s.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I don't know if you all know Waki Kiray. Isa yan sa original Angels ko, si Waki Kiray. And then after 17 years, yung kalbo siya si Waki Kiray, artist, yung sa television show, yung mga komedyante, mga gano'n.
Okay.
Isa yun sa mga anak-anakan ko. And mami talaga tawag nila sa akin. Doon nag-umpisa yan yung mga angels na yan. Doon yan nag-umpisa. So, and we lost contact for some reason. Pagpunta ko dito sa Amerika. And di pa ako nagpe-Facebook noon. So finally, nag-join ako ng Facebook. Nakita nila ako. And little that, na-surprise na lang ako. Little that I know na yung mga anak-anakan ko, intact pa rin sila. Like, after 15 years, 17 years ata, nag-reunion kami.
Ah, that's nice.
Yung isa nang galing ng Australia, isa galing ng Riyadh, isa galing ng ano ba to? Belgium. Oo.
Like all over the place.
O yeah, yung ibang professionals na, tapos yung ibang ganda na rin ng buhay, tapos si Waki Kiray. Ano din, nag-aartista yun. I was so proud. O yung, na kahit papaano, sabi niya, mami, tandaan ko talaga yung ganito yung sinabi mo, yung mga ganyan. Oo, talaga, mga ganyan. So,
Okay. I want to hold on to that anak-anakan. I want to like finish the family talk muna. Ah, Miss Champagne.
yun, something, ay, si Ian nandito. Si
Yeah.
Minnie.
Yeah, okay. So, si Mommy K, ano siya bilang isang anak? And then we will talk about the anak-anakan thing.
Ako, bilang isang anak, mapagmahalin ako sa nanay ko. And I must admit, sa tatay ko, mahal ko siya. Alam ko yung mahal ko siya. Pero hindi ako ganun kasi nga it's because may takot ako eh. Sabi, baka sapakin ako nito or something like that na hindi ako. Pero alam ko tanggap naman ako ng father ko because hindi niya ako pinahiya at saka yun lang, medyo stricto lang talaga siya. Bilang anak, I would say, duman din naman ako sa pagka-rebellious. Hindi rebelde, yung ma-absent ako sa school. Ganun.
Who didn't? Uy.
Kumbaga,
Diba parang
pasaway, oo. Tapos tatandaan ko pa, mother ko, like, pagka hinihingan ko siya ng pera, alam mo naman, bibili ka ng snacks or ano, hindi kang bigyan. Naglaro ka naman ng arte-artihan, ganon, supla-supladahan, ganon.
paglalambing, ganon.
So, yeah, pero mapagmahal ako lalo na sa magulang ko, sa mga kapatid ko. Yeah. Bilang anak, masunurin in a way, kasi otherwise, hindi ako nakapagtapos ng pag-aaral ko. May takot, may respeto ako sa magulang ko at sa mga kapatid ko. Hindi ko nilagay sa kahihiyan ba? Alam mo yun?
Both of your parents are still with us.
No, they're gone. My dad passed away way back in 2006.
Sorry, Mommy.
He had a multiple stroke. Massive stroke. And my mom passed away noong 2018, and then after that, nagkaroon ako ng depression, like a year or two. Yeah, so, yeah. Because I guess, all my life, sa kanya nakapokus, even my personal life, kinalimutan ko. Alam mo yun? Like, mga jowa-jowa, hindi ko pa nag-iintindi. Alam mo yun? Mas iniintindi ko nanay ko. Yung iba, gusto nila magbakasyon kami sa ganito. Hindi ako sumasama kasi gusto ko umuwi ng Pilipinas. Ayaw naman ng mother ko pumunta rito sa Amerika. So ako na lang yung naintindihan ko naman kasi syempre sabi niya, anong gagawin ko dyan? Di naman ako marunong mag-drive. Yeah. Sabi niya, nosebleed ako sa mga kano dyan. Diba? Alam mo na yung mga nanay.
I think we can all relate to that.
May mga apo sila, may apo sa Pilipinas, gano'n. Perahin mo na lang, sasabihin niya sa akin. Perahin ko na lang daw yung gagastusin ko yung pag-ano.
Okay, I didn't even know about this, that both your parents are not with us anymore. But knowing what I know now, nasabi mo ba ang lahat na gusto mong sabihin sa kanila? Napafeel mo ba sa kanila ang gusto mong iparamdam sa kanila before they're not with us anymore?
I think sa dad ko, in a way, indirectly, kasi, nag-separate sila when I was like 14 years old. And then, that's the reason why na-move ako sa Iloilo para magpatuloy ng pag-aaral ko sa mga tita ko at saka lola ko, sa mother side ko. Tapos, I think graduate na ako ng nurse na nagkaroon kami uli ng chance na mag-meet ng father ko. And niyakap niya ako, and then I hate him before yung niyakap niya na ako.
Parang,
Nawala na lang.
oh,
Oo, like, kasi I remember nagpunta siya ng Manila para magpakita. Nag-stay siya sa sister ko.
mhm.
Tapos yung mother ko, magkasama kami. So, gusto niya makita ako. Ganun. Eh, nung nalaman ko nandun siya, hindi ako umuwi for 3 days. Nagstay ako sa friend ko. Parang umiiwas ako. Ewan ko kung bakit ako umiiwas. Kumbaga. And finally, akala ko wala na. Yung pala inantay talaga ako. So,
Oh,
pagpunta ko dun sa sister ko, nandun siya. So, kasi tatanong ko nga, kasi hindi na mauso cellphone nung araw.
oo nga.
Hindi naman kami rich na sabihin mo, this cellphone na kayo mo.
Uy, noon talaga, uy, yung Nokia na phone, parang
Malaki.
one whole brick.
So yun, pagka ano ko, nandun siya, niyakap niya na lang ako. Tapos sabi niya, nak, gusto mo mag-proceed ng medicine. So,
Sorry, dumating yung mga hey, ako may interview.
yeah. Pagka sabi na kaya na dumating. So yun, sabi ko, no, I'm good. Yun sabi ko sa kanya.
They went to ano kasi, like a pool party.
Mm-mm. So yun, yun ang pinaka-ano ko, yung hindi ako nakapag-share ng mga kung ano ng mga experiences ko, mga ano, no. Then parang wala lang, ganun. Tapos, he didn't see me like this. I wish, you know. Kasi sabik din niya sa anak na babae. Kasi dalawa lang babae we're 7 and dalawa lang babae. Ako pa yung ika 2 and a half. Alam mo yun? Oo. So, 2.5, kumbaga pangatlo sa akin. So, I think siguro wala namang problema sa father ko kung makikita niya ako na ganito ako ngayon.
I think you know this is coming. Yung question ko na to.
Mm-mm.
If there's something that, like say for example, they're listening, what do you want to tell them, your parents?
Eh di sorry, di ba? Ganito. No, seriously speaking, I wanna tell them that I do love them, especially yung nanay ko. And I think nakausap ko na siya before, you know, na nawala siya. Na yung last visit ko nung 2018 na yun. 2 beses ako umuwi nun eh. Alam ko na, nakahiga siya, tapos tinawag niya ako, umiga ako katabi niya. Tapos masimas niya lang yung mukha ko. Tapos sabi niya sa akin na tama na, sarili mo naman. Yun na sinabi.
Oh.
Tama na daw yung pagtulong. I mean, sarili mo naman. Parang feeling ko, ano yun, na-realize ko na yun na yung ano niya sa akin.
Parang nag-give na siya ng hint na parang huli.
And especially yung kwintas na suot ko for so many years na hindi ko inaalis yun. Binigay ko sa kanya yun.
Wow.
So, it's a diamond na maganda siya na ano. Binigay ko. Hindi niya yun inaalis sa ano niya, tapos, tapos sinubad niya yun. Binigay ko uli sa akin yun. Sabi niya sa'yo to remember.
You know what? Like when you share that story, that part na parang umiiwas ka sa pag-meet nyo ng father mo. Tapos he actually purposely waited for you. I'm sure sa mga nakarinig ng story na yun, na hindi nila na-experience yung ganun, parang nakakaingit, parang merong pasong. This tells me na we've been on here for an hour.
Okay.
No, kasi parang...
Masarap.
Oo. Kasi parang, di ba, nakakaingit. Kasi like what I said kanina, di ba, like growing up in the Philippines as a little kid, meron akong na gano'n na binubugbog, hindi talaga ma-accept. But in your case kasi is, even though, parang, the way you were sharing your story kasi it's more like, parang natakot kayong dalawa to fully communicate to each other. Pero deep inside pala, super tanggap ka niya. But siguro, in your case, parang it's more like out of respect na lang din na na you waited, you kind of like waited for the right time talaga.
Oo, kasi hindi rin namin naiwasan na maraming pangyayari. Tapos, hindi kami nagkaroon ng chance, tapos yung paghiwalay nila, syempre ako yung bunso, syempre sa nanay ka, di ba?
Yeah.
So, ayun, tapos yung namuo sa isipan ko na pinabayaan niya kami, yung ganun ba?
Yeah.
So, in fact, he's a good provider kasi napakatalino ng father ko. He's like an operation director sa Middle East na way back then, yung iba dollar ang sinisweldo pero father ko dinar na ang sinisweldo. We had a good life. I mean, when I was growing up, bago sila naghiwalay, yun nga lang nagkaroon siya ng a little bit na problema, naging babaero kasi napapabarkada. Meron ka, di ba?
I was gonna say if you don't need to, but then go ahead.
Yeah, nalulong sa casino. So, little by little, na-apektuhan yung pamumuhay namin. Yun yung pinag-umpisa ng away ng mother and father. So, to a point na naghiwalay na sila.
I think one of the things that we can parang take away sa story mo with your parents, more than anything, I think we should be better at communicating to everybody. Kasi minsan, like that situation with your dad, fully accepted ka naman pala talaga niya. But then, parang meron kasing hesitation because of that fear that's like screaming in your head na like the worst things could possibly happen.
Siguro we would have a chance kung walang ganun nangyari ng hiwalayan. We would have more chance na makapag-interact na para maging komportable ako sa kanya. Yun lang isang bagay na hindi nangyari na nagkaroon kami ng talagang masasabi ko, maaalala ko na kasi puro mother ko yung naandun.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I didn't have a father figure to guide me kasi may mga brother naman ako eh. Yung iba naman, yung paghiwalay nila, malalaki naman na sila. Pagtapos na yung iba, nagtrabaho na, kanya-kanya na kami.
Okay, I think we can like inject that whole anak-anakan situation here. Kasi like you repeatedly said na ang nanay mo talaga ang nandun talaga para sa'yo, like when it comes to like a parent figure. Do you think it played a big role na like out of nowhere, I'm sure it wasn't like a planned thing na nangyari yung anak-anakan that was started back in 1990s?
Well, I guess it's common among, like members of LGBT na magkakaroon kami ng grupo yung because of that sense of belongingness and somebody will be kind of like assigned to be the mother figure ng grupo. Yun siya yung nag-guide sa inyo. Especially, puro mga bata sila. Ako, graduate na ako noon. Kumbaga sila, mga nag-uumpisa pa lang, mga 17, nagtatrabaho pa yan sila ng mga crew sa Jollibee, mga ganun ba? So, I guess, malaki yung impact ng mother ko yung sa the way na, at saka sa kapatid ko na babae. So, yun dun din, yung common sa aming LGBT to create another family of our own. Kasi nga, parang we feel like we don't belong, yung karamihan na you feel like outsider ka sa pamilya mo kasi you're different. So, ang tendency mo is to seek ng pamilya mo, yung pamilya mo na nagkakaintindihan kayo, yung out kayo, yung gano'n, nakakapaglandi kayo na mga actions nyo, hindi yung landi na yung you're behaving such na in a way na you don't care what, kasi tanggap nyo yung isa't isa bilang kung ano kayo. So yun, yung sense of belongingness, napaka-importante yun sa mga LGBT members. Kaya nagkakaroon sila kagad na let's bolt in syndrome. Kumbaga yung, ay, kapatid, o diba, isa lamang nung natin, pananampalataya, kumbaga paniniwala. So, yeah, so nandun na kagad na Siguro na, I think, hindi ko ma-describe kung bakit ganun na lang yung nanay-nanayang role na ano. I guess siguro din gusto ko rin magkaroon ng anak. So,
Well, in a sense, you have that.
I
Like,
have.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's the name of your group? KT.
K-Talk Angels, yeah, nag-group, it started yan nung pandemic. So, yun nga yung mga angels ko, na-screen ko yun. Kumbaga, yung mga talagang, ang rules ko is, kailangan yung deserve kayo matulungan. Sila muna tinulungan ko. Tapos ginamit ko sila na para sila naman yung tumulong sa kapwa nila. Pangit ang word ng ginamit.
No, it's like a domino effect. Like, pay it forward kind of thing.
Yeah, because I'm here and sila nasa Pilipinas. So, sila yung gumawa ng mga legwork para ma-achieve. Like si Minion King, dalawa kami niyan. Like and other members ng grupo namin na nandito sa abroad. So we use that that platform na gumawa kami ng grupo na gano'n para yung mga LGBT members namin at saka mga other members namin na hindi naman member ng LGBT na to do yung mga legwork para sa mga charity work namin na we don't advertise basically here. So, yun, nakakatuwa na mga nagbo-volunteer sila pero nakakatulong din kami in a way kasi wala naman sila mga trabaho so we make sure they were well compensated din yung sa ginagawa nilang pagtulong doon yung tuloy mo magdi-deliver kayo ng mga grocery magbabahay-bahay kayo di ba magpapakain kayo yung sa mga nasunugan mga ganon. Marami sa Cebu, sa Bulacan. Puro members namin yan ang sila yung talagang kami lang yung basically ako ang nag-organize kami na nagpa-planning, may-meeting kami kung anong gagawin, napupuyat kami, lahat kami rito sa abroad. So, and then sila yung like tapos syempre may expense report ka pa, explain mo yan sa kanila. Grupo lahat nagde-decide kung anong gagawin. So, yun. I took the lead. Kumbaga, yun lang ang contribution ko. Of course, financially. Malaki rin na nagastos ko in a way. Like, I withdraw my Moderna na stocks just to fund this charity. So, like, marami yan. Si Minion King and isa rin yan sa malaki din na contribute basically. Kung ano yung nagastos ko siguro close to it or, marami rin yan natutulungan sa grupo namin. So, I'm so blessed to have that K-Talk Angel na may mga members kami doon na willing silang, to give their time para lang ma-achieve namin yung goal namin na makatulong kami, especially doon sa mga taong nangangailangan ng tulong. So,
with all the existence of your group, ano yung pinaka-proudest moment ng group?
I think ang pinaka yung especially na hanggang ngayon nandiyan pa rin sila. Ang pinaka I think yung I would say na nagkaroon sila ng another family. Yung pinaka proudest na naandyan. Kasi hindi naman ako, hindi ako yung pala-chat eh. Alam nila yan, hindi ako pala-chat na tao. Nandun ako sa group GC. Tapos, yun, pati ate ko, mas pa nga siya sa mga members eh. Mas updated siya sa mga kumbaga. So, yun, nagkaroon sila ng kind of a solid group na family. So, and yung mga nagawa nilang maganda, I mean, kumbaga, sila din naman yun na kundi dahil sa kanila hindi mangyayari yung mga ganung bagay. So, I think yun yung doon, yung pinaka price na nila, yung reward nila na nakuha. Nagkaroon sila ng parang another family na they feel safe. Kasi karamihan sa kanila mga members din, yung LGBT.
Okay, I know lumagpas na tayo ng 1 hour, but I just need to tell you this na all this time kasi, like when we were able to establish the date and time kung kailan talaga yung interview, ang feeling ko talaga is, alam ni ate to, na I'm really excited to get to know you din. And I'm sure sa lahat ng nanood ngayon, they got to see and hear a lot more about Mommy K. But then yun nga, like 10 minutes before the live, I'm like, oh my gosh, bakit ako kinakabahan? But it really is such an honor. And I really appreciate you being here. Kasi nung nagka-interactan tayo, if that's the word, sa live ko
Mm.
before last year, in a sense,
Mm.
parang nabasa ko na kung ano yung personality mo. But then
Mm.
ngayon, like, you get to really openly talk about some things. And there was even this part na parang gusto kitang pigilan kasi, like, I'm all about protecting my guests. Kung ano lang
Mm.
talaga yung i-share mo. But if I can stop you from going further na hindi naman necessary, but then, you know, like, this is a free-flowing conversation. And thank you kasi you inspired us na I know for sure, I mean, I don't know this for a fact, but I can only imagine na there's a lot more things that you do in private to help
Mm.
people. And you should be really proud of yourself and your group as well.
Mm.
And we need you guys to keep going kasi we need that kind of, you know, like humanity kind of thing dito sa mundo. Because even if it's like a little thing that we are all doing, we can all contribute to make this world a better place talaga.
Yeah, like, yun nga, like, na-inspired din ako sa, kaya nga siguro naging close ako kila Mami Josie, kila Mami Siong, kasi meron kaming
Student
something in common. Tapos kami ni Ian,
mm-mm.
dito lang kami sa TikTok nagkakilala, pero nagkita na kami sa Hawaii, nagkita na rin kami sa California. I mean, how I wish na sa Pilipinas na yung kami magkasama na makikita namin yung mga other members namin. So ganun, hindi man kami ka-active ngayon pero naandun pa rin yung pagtulong. Actually, like, eto, even yung kumbaga hindi yung just yung pera lang na
Yeah,
ibibigay.
yeah,
Like meron kaming yung charity, yung sa t-shirt na yan. So ang contribution ko diyan is basically parang coordination, ganun lang. Pero malaking bagay na rin yun kasi kumbaga nakakapag-raise kami ng fund. Pero as much as possible, we try to avoid asking people for help.
yeah.
Yun ang, kumbaga yung fund is basically nanggagaling talaga sa
With
amin.
you, yeah.
Like si Ian, kaming dalawa, like may yearly event kami, like this coming August, meron na naman kami niyan. May isa kaming kaibigan dun sa Pilipinas niya, gumagawa nun. So kami ang nagsusupport nun ni Ian. Tapos sasabihin lang niya, Mami, ako nang bahala. Tapos sabihin niya, oh, pagka anong babawi naman ako sa kanya, anong kulang ko. Ganun ang arrangement namin. So,
The way you're describing how your group operates, para kang glue na nag keeps everybody together, even though you're not physically there, but because of
mm,
that love and respect that everybody has for you as their mom, para ka
mm,
talagang from a distance, you're keeping everybody intact. Now, there's a lot of teams, diba? It's really obvious naman dito sa, especially sa Filipino community dito sa TikTok. Merong mga teams. What can you give them as an advice para maging solid din sila gaya ng team ni Mami Kay?
Well, I guess that you treat each other with respect and yung loyalty. Kasi iba, like, sumasali lang sila because nagbe-benefit lang sila sa
Yeah.
grupo. You know, people come and go. Pero, kumbaga, kung sino yung naandyan sa paligid nyo, mahalin nyo. Kumbaga. And, syempre, yung tiwala, mahirap mag-gain yan eh. You know, it's kailangan talaga makukuha mo yan in a way na pagka ibinigay sa'yo, poprotektahan mo. Huwag mo sisirain. And that is something na dapat isipin ng bawat isa. Pagkasasali sila sa isang ano. Kasi umpisa pa lang naman hindi namin ginawa yan as a team. Ang aming concept niyan ng pagbuo namin is as a family na para bang pamilya mo kami. Hindi kami iba sa iyo.
Mhm.
Tapos may mga rules kami, may mga disiplina kami sa pamamahay o bawal yung ganito, bawal yung ganyan, bawal yung ganito. So, yun.
I want to add to that because you said the word loyalty. I don't know. You can disagree with this.
Mm-mm.
I think also with loyalty, I think the biggest thing about every relationship is yung sacrifice.
Mm-mm.
Like the biggest thing that you can do. Kasi like if you are willing to make a sacrifice to almost like kahit ikaw na lang yung masaktan, kahit ikaw na lang yung mahirapan, basta yung mga tao that you really care about are okay. I
Yeah.
think that's something that we can all add to that whole equation to create like a solid relationship or solid.
Yeah, hindi rin niya nagkaiba yun sa sarili mong pamilya, di ba?
Oh, oh, as in.
Yeah. So,
Parang ano kasi siya, life is complicated but it doesn't really need to be. Kung pwede lang talaga, di ba, babalik tayo doon sa respect.
Kaya
But,
magkakapatid yan eh.
oh, okay, I don't want to take too much of your time. And I always start, di ba, alam mo na to. Yung, my name is Jenny, this is my voice, ganon. Please do me the honor. Mami Kay, do that coin cash version. Nung ginawa ni Mami Sean, naiyak talaga ako.
Okay, can you give me a little like...
Parang ganito gawin mo. Like, hi, my name is Mami Kay. This is my voice. Kasi yung coin cash voice kasi is, we all have a voice to use in however we see fit. And since we are here on social media, no one can take that away from us. Parang ganon. So you would say, "Hi, my name is my name is Mami K. This is my voice," and then you can say whatever you want to say about yourself. Parang closing statement sa interview na to.
Well, this is Mami K and this is my voice. Just be you, be who you are, embrace, being you as your authentic you, and not to worry anything else. And that's Mami K.
Thank you so much, and happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride sa lahat. Mm-hmm.
Like this is such a I will always remember this kasi like what I told you when I messaged you, I want to highlight the LGBTQ community through Mami K, and I think we did that. And salamat talaga because the people on the comment section are very respecting.
Well, thank you din sa lahat at saka hindi talaga ako nagpapa-interview, and for some reason because of the Pride Month, never ang tagal ko na rito, ang dami nag-aano, pero I was just thinking like, yeah, this is a Pride Month and I should be visible and to make people aware that I'm proud to be part of this group and everybody sa mga friends natin. So I guess hindi yung para and for some people to at least have an idea what is this all about, this Pride Month. Na in my own little way, as a representation, kumbaga.
Thank you
sa lahat. Hi,
seeing that, mas na I feel more honored kasi hindi ka pa talaga nagpa-interview.
Never ako nagpaano yung mga personal, never.
Mind blown.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. My goodness, diba, guys? Thank you, Mami K. And please keep doing what you're doing. And a lot of people love you. And we wish you all the best in life. And just be happy. And happy Pride Month, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see you guys. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you sa lahat. Golden Heart shout out, Queen B, nandiyan kay Minion King. Thank you, Queen Catch.